Okay, it's recording now.
Recording. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
A little hung, but I'm okay.
Oh yeah, we did. Let's talk about that real quick. We did a impromptu Stardust movie night last night, and we watched an hour and a half episode of Ancient Aliens, where they were talking about the pyramids, but they never actually went into that section of the pyramid where they said they were going to go into in that episode.
Really?
Yeah, they never did it.
Hmm.
Anyway, we made it into a drinking game because I think Ancient Aliens is fucking hilarious. I think it's like I don't take that show seriously at all, and I can't sit there and watch a whole thing without drinking. So it makes me want to drink. And so you had to take a sip or a shot, whatever. And it didn't have to be alcohol. Some people were drinking like iced tea or whatever.
I had my bong. I was hitting my bong.
See, there you go. Yeah. I had my.
But that's because I came pre-drunk.
Yeah.
So I didn't need any more alcohol that day. And I'm not even sure which day it was. Because I woke up from my nap that I have no recollection of taking. And I'm buzzing around the house. I want the kids to get ready for school. But I didn't understand why all three of them were awake because it was early, clearly. It was dark, and only Josh should be awake that early. I just didn't get it. And then I'm like, well, it's Saturday. Why is anybody up this early before the sun came up? And they were just buzzing around having their normal, whatever they were doing. It didn't make any sense to me. Like an hour later, I figured out, it took a long time, I figured out that it wasn't Saturday at all. It was Friday night. I thought I slept the whole night, so I went and joined the alien watch party.
Oh my God.
Partied on.
That
was so weird. I lost a whole day. I'm messaging my friend and I'm telling him, yeah, I slept all night long. I only slept a couple hours. That was so weird.
Yeah, it was fun. You had to take a shot anytime the crazy haired guy would come on and he'd do his hand gesture that he does. You took a shot anytime they said ancient astronaut theorists.
Right.
You took a shot anytime they said extraterrestrials. And you would take a shot anytime they throw out a far-fetched idea trying to relate something to extraterrestrials that doesn't make any fucking sense. So the show got insane. They started off with going into pyramids and talking about what's in this room, this unlocked chamber they just found. And then it got off track. For some reason, they got on the topic of angels and then the Bible. And then they were talking about these sacred bulls and Egyptians having sex with them. And I'm like, okay, when are we coming back to the pyramids? Where are we?
No kidding. I think they needed to start drinking. Or maybe they already were.
Yeah, they were. The writers were obviously drinking when they wrote that show because it just was all over the place. I was like, this show has ADD. It does not stay on track at all. And they never went back to the pyramids. They never made it back.
So it remains a mystery. It's just...
And Sam was watching it. It was his first time ever watching Ancient Aliens. And he thought the show... He got bored 10 minutes in. And then he thought the show was ridiculous. But it was having fun watching our conversation on the side. And us talking shit. And I accidentally rewinded the show. And I didn't know it'd make everyone else rewind theirs as well. So everyone's like, way to go, H. And I'm like, oops. Because I wanted to see this guy's face. He was one of the Egyptologists or something. And he's not into the alien thing. And here comes the crazy hair guy saying, so you're saying that these mummies were actually inspired by aliens. And the guy, the Egyptologist was like his face, you should have saw his face, was sure.
I didn't actually say that.
I didn't say that.
We'll go with it.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was so funny.
Okay, but I don't think we're talking about aliens today, are we?
No, we're not. Sorry, we got off track. That took 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but we do those. We're going to do those once a month, those movie nights.
Okay.
So if you should seriously join the group because we have a lot of fun there.
And if you do join it, answer a question.
Yeah.
So that we just know you're a real person.
And you're not a troll.
Right.
We get a lot of people who aren't real accounts trying to join the group, and I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm. I want to do that watch party with Saturday Night Live too. I'm going to try to do that, or I'm going to make you do it.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we doing today? Who are we talking to?
We're going to talk to Voltaire today, my baby's daddy. And Voltaire, for people that don't know, we've interviewed him before, and he is a famous writer and philosopher from the French Enlightenment. From the Enlightenment era, and he was French.
Right.
Anyway. But his philosophies directly affected the U.S. Constitution. People don't know that. When it was written, a lot of his ideas were placed into the Constitution. So you have him to thank for a lot of, the freedom ideas that we have. Although he never thought democracy would work. So he doesn't think democracy works.
Well, also, we've had him on before, and I don't want people to get hung up on democracy and Enlightenment and France and all that. You can, but he talks about some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So don't be discouraged by, the guest, because he knows everything. He's spirit. So we get some good questions out of him, good answers.
He says, I know what I know, is what he's saying when he said he knows everything.
He knows everything.
So what's the topic today? Sorry to...
Today. No, that's okay. Okay, the topic is, we're going to talk about twin flames, because you and I have different understandings of what they are. And I want to start with that in our difference of opinion or understandings, because I'm going to kind of address this on Shiny too, because I really think it's important that we understand that everybody truly can have their own truth. I'm not going to try to sell her on my story. And she's not doing the same to me either. We realize that we come in through different experiences. You can call them filters. And we have our own understandings. I've done my research and I've had my experiences. And she has too. But there's so much controversy that we want Volty to kind of help, set us all straight. Because we're not the only ones that have differing opinions about this.
Yeah, Voltaire got confusing. He got up a step closer when you were talking about the topic we're going to talk about. And he's really excited to what's that word he's saying, to divulge on the topic and clear everything up from his point of view and his understanding.
Right.
He's saying, I want to say this now. This is from my viewpoint and my understanding of it.
Because spirit have their own filters too. Is that the truth, Volty? Your own experience and understanding?
He says, he doesn't say viewpoint, he says understanding. It's like, from my understanding, yes. From what I've experienced, yes. He said that, in fact, a lot of what he does on the other side is he sits there with other spirits in a group, in a circle, and they discuss ideas. And not everybody agrees on the same thing. But one of the greatest things is that when we get into these philosophical debates, he said, I won't necessarily call them debates, they're discussions, because nobody's fighting, nobody's getting angry that someone else has a different viewpoint. He's saying that because what they experienced in their lifetimes can also affect them in spirit and their understanding of things. So what I've experienced as Voltaire, or what I experienced as Tommy or Jacob, what have you, it directly affects who I am right now. And from my understanding, this is my viewpoint on twin flames and what I have learned thus far from not just my own experiences, but my discussions I've had with other spirits. He said, including Erik.
Okay. All right. So to me, I feel like that I'm just going to lay my theories out there, and you can lay yours out, and he can, interject, whatever, because it is a discussion. So the way I see, like, my definition of a twin flame, if you're going to, like, really be specific, is when I'm going to use Fairy Girl. Fairy Girl decides to split herself so she can experience on behalf of her and, her collective, everybody.
Yes.
But there's also something called a twin flame experience, and I am in the middle of that. I'm having one this lifetime, and that doesn't necessarily have to be with that twin, that split of you. We can also have another split too, I suppose. But that, to me, like, the relationship part is more of a matching vibration. And they call it a twin because the vibration is so similar.
So would you call it a twin vibration and not a twin flame?
I like that so much better, because twin flame, I don't know why, we just associate flame with passion, and it sounds like a lover and a romantic thing. And many times relationships are like that, but that's not the rule, and that's really not what they're supposed to be for. So twin vibration is perfect. I like that.
Okay.
What do you think a twin is? What's your definition?
Okay, so I might get a little negative Nancy on this.
That's okay.
But you know what? That's me, and that's my filter, all right? I think, to put it quite simply, I think it's all bullshit. And that's just from my experience. I used to, not that I don't think anybody's experience is real, I just think people put way too much stock into the whole twin flame idea. It just encompasses their entirety. And I think that limits them a lot in the different kinds of relationships you can have, because they label twin flame as the most intense, the most romantic. And I think a lot of it comes from them wanting the ownership of that person or that spirit or what have you. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but for a lot I have witnessed, it's like somebody's like, oh, he's mine. He's my twin flame. Like, you can have a relationship with him, but mine's the most intense. I'm the one, you know? And so that's where that negativity comes from for me, because I'm like, you don't own jack shit. Who gives a shit if that's your twin flame? Your twin flame could be fucking, you know, Carol down the street at the same time as being with you, you know, because spirit isn't trapped to just one person. And, but that's just me. I also think quite literally the twin flame, the same thing as you, is the split and half soul. And the kind of my humor in me is kind of like, well, that's kind of funny because that means you're in love with yourself and you want to fuck yourself, which is kind of funny. And then, but then I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking, well, at the same time, we're all each other. We're all the same soul. We all come from the same place. So we're all twin flames to each other. So there's no one twin flame. We're all each other's twin flames. And we all want to fuck ourselves. Source wants to fuck itself. And I think that's hilarious, and I love it. I love thinking of it like that.
Source is such a horny fucker.
I know. And then, you know, I'm not going to downplay other people's experiences. Yes, you can definitely have that intense relationship with somebody. But from my point of view, I have the most intense, most passionate relationships with more than one soul.
Yes. And, hello.
And I have them at the same time. And that doesn't mean just because I'm having them at the same time, they're not as intense. Like, some people tell me, well, just because they're saying, because you have, like, you know, I have Voltaire, I fuck him. And then I have Sam and I have my Joshy Poo. And people will say, well, because you have more than one, you just don't understand. Because when you have your twin flame, you can't imagine yourself with anyone else. And I'm like, yes, you fucking can. For you, maybe not. But for me, definitely. I definitely
Well, let's take me, for example, because I am in this twin flame relationship, and I've never made a secret out of it. My twin flame relationship is with Michael, and there is a special bond between us. There truly is. But I've been told that he's like my fave on the other side, so I clung to that. But I'm not necessarily sure that that's the truth, or we just, in this particular life, as Carrie and Michael, I'm going to just have this experience with him. So with him, and it could have been the others, because I also had I had a twin flame experience relationship with Erik in a different life. So, and he's not my twin either, you know. Right. Neither of these two guys are the official twin. He's back home. I met him not too long ago.
Right.
But so it's the energy. So if you're going to even talk a split, there's the six of us, our Minerva's posse. So each of us have identical vibrations.
Oh, you're going to say pussy. Minerva's pussy. I can hear her laughing.
She's a horny fucker, too. She's got a crazy game plan. Even you and I have such a close and tight relationship. And they are intense. These relationships are intense. They
are. I feel for you. It's a weird thing what Carrie and I have. It's fucking weird. I don't have it with anybody else, and I don't know what it is. I just don't know. What the fuck do we call ourselves?
I don't know, but I'm going to speak for us and just lay it out there. Because Heather and I mean, we feel like a couple. We feel like we are an in-love couple. And we're very sexual to each other. There's a lot of flirting, and there's a lot of
sexual intention. There's sexual tension.
But then, when it comes down to it, we both kind of feel like, I don't think I could ever go there. I didn't understand that at first, but I had a theory recently, and Heather's kind of on board, and I feel like her and I are an experiment, and one of Minerva's experiments to experience that kind of love, completely unconditional. Our genders don't matter, our ages don't matter. We just love each other, and we get freaky energetically even, but physically, it's.
I think it's because we're human and we associate that love with a physical, sexual thing, but we would never actually act on it because, to be quite honest with you, vaginas gross me out. So I really couldn't think vaginas are gross.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but I'll figure it out one day. But I don't know. I can't, even though I appreciate them more than you do, I can't go there with you. Yeah. So, and that was a little embarrassing and awkward too.
Voltaire.
I'm sorry, what?
He's saying you two are your own form of twin flame. And
explain that.
He's saying that, and this is the same for anyone else who has this kind of relationship. To him, his understanding of twin flame is he said, no disrespect to Heather, none taken. Because I had a negative experience with the whole twin flame thing, so I come from a very different background. For him, he's saying twin flame just means an intense relationship you have with a soul to him. And it could be romantic. It could be something platonic. It's something that goes beyond just the physicality of knowing one soul. It goes beyond all expectations, all of what relationships are supposed to mean within a human confines. So it could be something, say it's something with a mother. You can have a mother who is your twin flame, but that doesn't mean that's romantic. It could mean that you have this really tight-knit bond with your mother that's unbreakable and goes beyond physicality. So you can communicate energetically. Your energies can communicate. You can perhaps even have telepathic communication. And it could happen with lovers. It can happen with brothers and sisters. To him, twin flame can happen with any kind of relationship. And so he's saying perhaps it would be more accurate to have twin vibration.
I was going to ask if he liked that. Yeah.
He said perhaps that would be a more accurate assumption, a more accurate term for it.
And you know what? Let me extend on that, because we don't always match each other's vibration. Because in my own experience, for whatever it is, I've decided I'm almost a classic case, like what the internet tells you a twin flame relationship is. I had the big thing with Michael. I had to heal, and then we're separated now, and we know we'll come back to each other at some point. But we've kind of fallen out of vibration with each other. And so when that happens, I believe that the universe will bring somebody else in to your life to match that vibration. So it doesn't even have to be the same person. It could, is that an accurate statement, Volti? That you can attract
absolutely, it's accurate because it's happened to you and it's your truth. So he's saying just because I have not experienced this does not mean it's any less true. And actually, we have more spirits coming in because I find this discussion very interesting.
Really? Who's coming? Do you know?
There's a lot of older philosophers
Oh my God, we're having a discussion.
Yeah, we are, like a spirit would. We're just sharing our experiences and stuff. And we have one from Voltaire's life. I forget I could see his face, and his name's right at the tip of my tongue. What the fuck was his name?
Not be me.
But one thing I know about this guy. I'll have to look him up. Okay. He would like to. I'm gonna put you on blast. He'd like to be spanked. He would put down his pants and he would walk around his house asking women to spank him. He was so weird. They're laughing. They're saying French philosophers. Yes, we're quite the weird bunch. But he has really curly hair. I think his name started with an R. It's just going to bug me. I have to look it up. But anyway, he's here. We also have Plato's here too. Plato.
Yeah. I think I talked to Plato. I think Socrates, Plato. Yeah. Hi, Plato. I was in Belgium when I spoke to him. That's funny.
And we're talking to a man named Augustus as well.
Okay.
I don't know what philosopher that is or if he is one, but he's saying his name's Augustus. And then we have a whole group. We have Erik here now too, but there's a whole group of them filing
Wow. In. It's a party. It's a philosophy party. Which word should be the buzzword for when we drink a shot? Just kidding.
Twin flame. We'll be
Twin flame.
We'll totally be fucked over by the end of this conversation. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Sorry, I got off track. Oh, one of them wanted me to divulge my experience with twin flames. So, and why I have the viewpoint that I do. Because I kind of came off bitchy in the beginning, I think. But I was just being blunt.
Fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you. But anyway, from my experience, I've always been told that there's this one spirit. We're going to call him Bugalo, all right? Because I don't want to, like, share his actual existence. So we're Bugalo. Okay. I was always told he was my twin flame. And it felt like everything a twin flame relationship would be. And then, you know, when I would channel Bugalo, he would tell me that that we weren't twin flames, but we were close enough. And it always bothered me because I was struggling with jealousy at the time because there was this Bugalo guy is pretty popular. And there's other girls who would come in saying, oh, Bugalo's my twin flame. Or he's my twin flame, and he told me this, and a medium confirmed it. So I really had a fucked up experience, and this was very beginning of my awakening too. So it really fucked me over, and after that experience, I just kind of shut down to the whole idea. And it's not that I think it's untrue. I just think people put too much stock into it, and it can lead to people getting hurt or feel like they're not worthy enough, and they explain how painful the experiences are, which mine was too. But I'm like, why does that have to mean it's a twin flame if it's painful? You know?
Well, because if it's a twin flame, not necessarily. Maybe you really do get to hook up with that split soul, and I bet it is really awesome. But again, I'm going back to the twin flame relationship experience, and that is painful. So when I hear people saying, oh, we just finish each other's sentences and everything's so beautiful and perfect and I connect with his energy, I'm thinking, then he ain't your twin, because that shit does not feel good.
No.
A twin flame relationship is basically meant to strip you of all your beliefs and break you down so that you can start with a clean slate.
And it's supposed to be polar opposites, right? That's why it sucks.
That's another thing. And I'm always confused about that. Maybe Volty can throw me a bean. But I know, throw me a bean. But with Michael and I, we're very different. We're so different. We are yin-yangy, though, so I know all the differences. But he's just such a mystery that I don't even know our similarities. But clearly, we're on this journey together. We are part of M6, so we do have a similar vibration. But I have how are we similar, Volty? You got a bone for me? A bean?
Says yes. He has a bean. He's saying that the similarities you have is not within your personalities, but within your interests and your morals and values that you stand for. And those are things you never really particularly discussed, as in you both are interested in spirituality. You both, what was that? Okay, it's something personal. I don't feel comfortable putting Michael on blast with that. I'll message you it later. But I'll write it down so I can remember.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Walty.
Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable putting him on blast on public like that.
For the record, though, because I do talk about him, I got permission from him a long time ago to say whatever I wanted to say about him ever. And I do try to be respectful of whatever it is I have to say.
This thing you guys do in a different way, but it's still the same thing.
We're doing it.
Anyway, let's see. What else you both do? Okay, so a lot of your experiences are the same, although they happen, like, you guys experience the same lessons. It's through a different experience, but it's the same exact lessons. And I'm not going to go into detail on his lessons because, again, I don't want to put him on blast.
You and I do the same thing.
Yes,
always.
we do.
And I love to have that comparison with you. He didn't talk to me, so I have no idea. But I would tell him stuff that you and I go through because I know that he might be doing it too. You know, just to kind of let him know you're not alone. We're all doing this and whatever. I don't know if he took an interest or not. But I know that you and I, it's just uncanny how many experiences you and I have that are like within the same couple of days or whatever. It's weird.
Anyway, but one of the good experiences I had with Boogaloo was letting go of my jealousy and that need for that attachment and that need to claim somebody and my twin flame. So now with Voltaire, if you want to fuck him or if anyone else wants to fuck him, I'm game. I'm like, yeah, man, let me join in on you. Let's get a threesome going. Let's go. You know, I don't have that.
As if we haven't.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's not, I don't have that he has to be mine. And even though he's in spirit, he has to only belong to me because that's not how spirit works. As much as you want him to, and as much as he will tell you, I really think that spirit is probably not being entirely truthful with you. And that's just me because I know time isn't linear. So while they're with you in spirit, there's probably with someone at the same exact time somewhere else. They are, for a fact, with someone else.
We already know in spirit, too, that there is no jealousy. You get to love whoever you want for as long as you want. And if one spirit is done, then the other one's like, okay, cool, it was nice hanging out with you. There's nothing weird. And I think that you and I are kind of, you know, exploring and setting examples and teaching that it's the same here. We have all these relationships going at once. We're made to love more than one. And I suffered that same jealousy shit too. That was a tough pill to swallow. That was the worst. But I've gotten past that too because I have that same kind of attitude. You love who you love, and there's enough room to love. It's like your kids. You have a kid, you love your kid so much, and then you get pregnant and have another kid. You don't take away love from the first kid. All of a sudden, you've got enough love for the second one too.
Right. It's
and that's
exactly
how it
like
is.
that.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. Yeah. So back to the twin flame thing. According to Erik, he says by definition and by what's most popular, yes, twin flames, they absolutely are the soul split in half. Mm-hmm. But where it starts to get tricky is where people start to associate that definition with an intense relationship they're having that's not exactly a twin flame. Just because you have this intensity with someone doesn't mean that's your exact half of your soul.
Right.
He's saying it may feel like that, and for all intents and purposes it is, because that person feels like they're part of you. But he's saying that not to say that someone's experience is false, it's just, he's saying when you attach labels and definitions to things, it makes it tricky because you're trying to confine things into a box. And he's saying, and if you want to do that with a relationship with somebody, absolutely do so. It's not wrong to do it. Just fucking do it. Do what makes you feel good. He's like, don't fucking listen to these girls. He's talking about us. If you don't want to, don't listen to what they have to say if it doesn't resonate with you. You know, if you're fine with where you're at and your understanding of twin flames, by all means stay there. But if you're looking for another understanding of it because it's no longer resonating with you, what you have currently, then reach out, learn, listen, read.
Yes, and you take bits and pieces of what fits for you, and the things that don't fit for you will get you thinking until you find the thing that does fit for you. Right. And I know I'm with Erik on that too, and that you go and you find out your own decision of what feels good to you. Because my twin flame experience is not going to sit right with somebody else because they have their own experience too, and I'm comfortable with that. I don't have to be right.
He said call it twin flame experience. That would probably be the best. If you have to, he said it, smack a label onto it. And he gives me this image of like a sticker and he's throwing it out in a box. Like, you know, it's like if you got to smack.
Erik needs to send me a label maker.
Yeah.
Send me one.
Yeah, like a label maker. Exactly like that.
Wouldn't that be funny if I got one in the mail?
Yeah.
Mail
like
one,
he says, if you have to smack a label onto it, twin flame experience would probably be the best one, because when you say twin flame, you're confining yourself to just one other soul. That you feel that with, when you could feel it with so many others, and you probably do, but you're not realizing it because you're stuck on this other guy. And
you're right, because if I didn't understand this stuff, I'd still be like well, I don't know if I would, but I'd cling to the other one. I'd cling to Michael's, and I would miss out on the new one. I don't want to miss out.
And it's not to say that it's someone who's doing that is wrong, because that's probably where they're at. And that's not to say that somebody who isn't is far more advanced either. He's saying it just is what it is. It's not, there's no levels to it. You're at where you're fucking at, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he said something similar to me recently. He said, I go, is it normal to feel this way? And his answer was such an Erik answer. He goes, everything's normal.
Right.
He says, really, everything's normal.
Fuck it, everything's normal. Yeah. I haven't channeled him in a while like this.
No.
Feels nice.
We love you.
Yeah, he gave me a big ol' hug.
Erik, is that the truth that we did the twin flame thing in the brothel? Is that the truth?
Yes. I heard him so clearly right now. Oh, God, I miss him. I didn't realize how much I missed him, so I started doing this. Because I hear him so much more clearly with other spirit. It's kind of like I feel their energy and I try to translate it, even with Voltaire. But with Erik, it's like word for word, I got it, you know?
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, well, Erik, you're going to have to come on. I don't even think he's been an official Stardusty.
No. Hold on, my cat's meowing. Okay, you can keep talking.
Erik, I'm going to buy you a ticket to be on the Stardust show, okay?
Shh. Angel, shut up. That's my cat.
Okay,
Angel.
and I want to point one thing out too, just because I don't want to give people completely misinformation, but when I mentioned that the twin flame experience is very painful. For me, the way I described what it was, and I'm going to actually do a solo video and describe my whole experience. I'm going to kind of use that as my, what do you call that? Debut, I guess?
Yeah, your debut into your solo. Carrie's going solo, you guys.
Woohoo! I'm going to try it. But it was a very painful relationship, but it was because I was shedding stuff. And the way I kind of perceived it and described it and figured it out was that I wasn't really having a relationship with Michael. I was having one with myself. So all of the things that I was mad at him about or struggling with him about, it was really just me struggling with myself about. And I would just break through it over and over again. So that's one thing. Another thing is that they are painful. So if you're in a painful relationship, be discerning, because it was never abusive. Michael never abused me. So it wasn't painful because of anything he did. If somebody is attacking you or abusing you, that's a toxic relationship. And this kind of had a feel to that, but it was because I was hurting so much. It was my own stuff. But ultimately, these are good for you. They bring you out of that darkness.
Yeah, so, and you can't go through growth without some growing pains,
Exactly.
It's life, then you wouldn't have grown. Nothing's going to be handed to you. It's not going to be easy. And Erik went ding like that.
Right. So, I'm starting to reap in all the benefits of that.
What's great is that I don't entirely agree with any of these guys. It's great that
and that's okay, because it's just a discussion. We're allowed to have our
My
own
cat's
opinions.
Freaking out. You should see her face, because she's probably looking at all the spirits, and her eyes are all wide looking at everything.
Funny. Does Minerva have anything she wants to add to this party?
Actually, Sam does.
Sammy J! Hi!
We got a whole party going on. He wanted me to share his story. He is fully convinced that he and I are twin flames. And whenever he says it, I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm not here to tell him he's wrong, but I'm not necessarily going to be like, oh my God, yes, we are. You're the one. I'm just like, yeah.
You can see how Sarsar would feel that way, though, because you are the one.
Yeah, I'm his one and only. And, he doesn't believe in, me having a relationship with a spirit, but he believes in the concept of twin flames. It's a new concept to him. The Sarsar don't have that. They don't put a name to it, but he loves the label of it. He loves to use it, and he loves to call us twin flames. So for his truth, he just likes the comfort of the feeling of it. And I think some people are like that. That's not to be wrong or anything, because, there's an alien that feels that way. He loves the comfort, the squishiness that comes with saying someone's their twin flame. He loves to say that. And for him, yes, we absolutely are. And he's not wrong. But for me, I'm not going to use that term. I'm just like, we're just whatever, man.
Right. Well, yeah. You guys.
Minerva saying for twin flames. Okay, hold on. She's really intense because she's like this huge, she's coming in at the top, coming in through my crown. It's weird. And she's this big purple mess.
It's fucking up the screen, too. Her energy is really...
Really?
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
Ground.
I know.
You can still hear you, though. But
sorry. Right when she started coming in is probably when it started fucking up, because she's this huge energy. Yeah. Anyway, she's saying that for her, twin flame means more than one. She said, we're quadruplet flames. We're sextuplet flames. We're all the flames. Because she said, my soul is split up 6 times, and then those splits split up more, and then those splits split up more. She's saying that for a lot of people, their twin flame is their twin flame, but it could be an extended twin flame, is what she's saying.
See? I love this stuff.
She has to draw it. Hold on. Let me get out a piece of paper and show you what she's showing me.
I got a reading with Minerva soon. I'm going to get this whole fucking map.
Yes.
If you know what, if that interests anybody, I'll do it on a show if anybody's interested in it. Otherwise, I'll just do it,
Okay, so I'm going to draw Minerva. I'm going to put a giant M, and then I'm going to split 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have us.
I want to tell her to draw where the new one came from.
What new one?
Oh, my God. The new one.
What? Oh. Okay, I know what you're talking about. This is cool. This is really cool. Okay, so she's showing me this. Okay, so you have Minerva up here, and then you have us, who split off.
Right.
But then you have sometimes this soul will split off into 2, and then that soul will have its own split off. And then this one will split off, and then, because then this guy right here is the twin flame to that guy, but then this guy has 2 twin flames. And then that one that split off has 1 twin flame. So, she's saying that really there's extended twin flames. So who you're experiencing with it, yes, by all means, is your twin flame. But, she's saying, but don't think the soul gets smaller or less than just because it splits off. She's saying the soul's still a whole individual.
Right.
Because it's no different than how Source is. Source split itself off into million trillions. It's an infinite amount. It keeps splitting itself off more and more each second. That doesn't mean those new souls or the more souls that split off get smaller or less than. So just because you're split off from something doesn't mean you're less than or you're not your own individual still. You're still part of a whole, but you're an individual. One thing Erik's saying is you're part of a whole pie. Everyone's a different flavor in the pie, but you still make up the whole pie. So, yeah.
Okay.
So each slice is a different flavor, but you make up a whole pie. But yeah, that's what she was explaining to me, and it was so trippy. I had to draw it because it's everyone has. So everyone's each. So would you say, Minerva, that everyone's each other's twin flame? No. She's saying no. We're not going to agree with you. But
Nice try, Heather.
Fuck me, right? She's like, you're out in your understanding of it. It's fine. You're not wrong, and neither is Carrie, and neither is anyone else. But she's saying for
Very
me,
diplomatic.
Yeah, she's saying that for me, everyone has a twin flame of their own, but everyone has an extended twin flame as well because everybody's keeps extending itself further and further. So you could have your own. She's saying, let's call it a pod, your own twin flame pod, where you have your soul split off, and then you have your twin flame, but then your twin flame probably split off into 2 different souls.
Right.
So that's your little pod.
It's infinite. And okay, so within our pod, is it common? Because I just feel like all the people coming my way are part of you. Is that going to be close to the truth, Minerva? Are you just throwing more of you at me?
I can give you 2 responses to that. One, I can be a smart ass and say yes, because everyone's part of each other. 2,
well, that's Heather's answer.
Yeah, that's more my side of the spectrum. Her response would be 2. No, because it doesn't necessarily mean they're part of the Minerva circle.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, that was the response you wanted, but I had to give the other one that was much more big spectrum.
I was actually so surprised to learn that the new one was part of your posse, not your pussy, your posse.
You could say pussy.
But it made sense to me. I loved that. I love that it's part of the soul family, and I don't know, I don't know why she chose to do that, but I like to believe it's because she knows how important it is to me to have those kind of connections, because, I'm always fascinated by this. So I feel like that was a little bit of a
Because you are the one who's going to connect us all. That's why you're so...
Because I remember and feel everyone.
You're supposed to. Yeah, that's what I got. You're supposed to. Okay, so we got off topic of twin flames, but I still think this is interesting, how the souls split up and how... twin flames you can still have someone be your twin flame, but they're not exactly the direct break off. They're like an extended break off, but that still doesn't mean they're not your twin flame. They're still part of that She said pod. I like that. Part of your pod. Your little pod group.
Right. Oh.
I
like to be in your pod, Minerva. I love your pod. Thanks for being so fucking crazy. Are you always this crazy or just this time around?
Nope. Always crazy. Erik is like, yes. You know.
He sees them all. Oh, dear. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if I had many more questions about twins.
That was interesting.
I think we covered a lot of it. What happened?
I saw Erik. He went into Minerva. Minerva's not really forming itself as a person. It's this purple blob, and there's gold in it and white. It's all this different colors mixed together. And Erik kind of just like, I want to join you, and like morphed himself into the blob. He's in the blob now. He's in Minerva's blob. It was crazy.
He's in the Minerva blob. Oh, wow, that's so cool. And you know what I want to share?
He can come out anytime he wants, you know. Some people believe, he's coming back out to talk, and it looks like he's trying to struggle to get out. Like, it's like this
Come on, you can do it, baby.
Like, it's like a little, you know, like what's that movie called with the green blob thing? Flubber. It was like Flubber, the consistency of it. Anyway, he's like, and another thing, he's saying some people believe that when they cross over, they morph with their higher self and no longer their own individual. That's not necessarily true. You're still your own individual. You can always choose, and they're saying, and they think once you morph in, you can't morph back out. He's saying, as we can clearly see, I just fucking did it. I can morph in and out of my higher self at any time I
think
choose.
Socrates did that same thing. I think we brought him back from his blob for Shiny a couple years ago because he was over it. He's just like, I'm done. I'm done doing all that human shit, but I'll come pay a visit.
Exactly. So you can morph in and out any fucking time you want. You're not confined to one thing, one decision. That's not how spirit world works, she's saying. Afterlife home.
Let me address this in this. I'm going to be a little braggy right here because I love this, and maybe they'll elaborate a little bit. But one of the cool things about us is this big surprise that Erik's been talking about for a few years. And so he just let me in on it. And what it was that we're just going to be the six of us, and maybe even more now for all I know, going to be so telepathically connected that if we just sit around on like a Skype meeting, we don't even have to talk. We'll just stare at each other and make that energetic and telepathic connection.
Erik's like, except for me, because I'm dead. I don't have a Skype account.
I know, you don't have your Skype account, babe, but see, you can participate in the other ways. Yay! Yes. So what about that? Is that what's going to happen?
He says definitely. He's so sweet. He's resting his head right here on my shoulder. He's just looking at you like this. You know.
Hi, baby.
So I'm all tapping him.
You got so many people that love you. You got so many people.
He's talking about his mom.
Erik, what do you do? I bet there's like a dozen or 5 dozen or 1 million people that feel like you're their twin. What do you do about that? Anything?
He says, I absolutely am.
Aw, so sweet. Because, what did he say? Everything is normal. Is that what it was?
Exactly.
Everything goes.
Whatever you believe is fucking it. He's saying there's some variations. You can't make up your own facts about things, but you can make up your own belief systems. Absolutely. And that doesn't make it... oh, God. Erik. He said, I'm willing to participate. God damn it.
He'll accommodate you.
Oh, my God. Because I feel like whenever he says things like that, I think of his mom watching this, and I'm like, she probably doesn't want to hear that, you know?
Oh, you're wrong about that.
No?
Erik, I know how your mama talks about you.
He went like that,
yeah. Yeah. There's no filter in the Medhus home. There just isn't.
God. Well, for me there is, you know. I'm uncomfortable. Thanks. He's complimenting my shirt. It says you should see it. I'm not wearing a bra. It says I'm a fucking wizard.
You are a fucking wizard. I got pink and blue on. I wear this shirt for you,
I like
Volty.
your boobs. I like your boobs.
Thanks. I got a new bra.
I can tell.
It's prettier, but it's still fake. I mean, that's just fluff. I don't care.
Voltaire's saying beautiful. He said it in French, but I can't fucking, I don't know that word. So, but I translated it, energetically. That means beautiful.
Merci.
All right, I don't know something in French. Okay, I'm done talking to you. If you're speaking French, I can't understand a word.
Poor baby. Well, do we have anything else? Anything else to address about this?
Not
anybody want to say anything?
I hope I didn't come off too bitchy though. I think I did.
No, I don't think you did. And you know what? And even if you did, which you didn't, but if you did, I didn't get my feathers ruffled. You know why? Because you're allowed to think and feel whatever you want, and I'm going to be okay with that. It is what it is. And that's cool.
Erik, what?
We're so, yeah.
I love when he does that. It's that noise with he sucks his teeth or whatever. Anyway, before we go, I want to talk about Stardust boxes.
Okay.
I started selling the Stardust boxes. Shit, I should probably bring on the merchandise. I should have gotten the stuff to show off.
Do you want to? Is it close? Do you want to get it, and I'll talk about the event, or is it far away?
Yeah, go talk about the event. No, it's just in the other room.
Okay. So just as a reminder, our second Stardust event is coming up in mid-October, so like 6 weeks or something. And Heather and I had a little talk, just Skyping, and the spacemen came and crashed our party, and they're figuring out, those two are going to come, Sam and Avery, and they're kind of figuring out a crew of who they're going to bring with them. I think they're going to have a total of 5, and they're trying to just get the best personalities together, because I really don't know. I mean, I don't know where they're going to land and shit, on my roof and a tree. I don't know what they're going to do. But anyway, that's going to be really fun. And, Heather is so nuts about Halloween. I like Halloween too. So we're going to try to get the Sarsar on board and create this kind of, holiday for them. And we already know what happens, because you can go trick-or-treating at, future Sarsar Heather's house. So that's going to be fun. We're going to go out to dinner on Friday night, and she's going to channel a Sarsar, probably Gwenny. And that will be a fun experience too. Would that be? I'll get such a kick out of telling the waitress we got an alien here. She won't believe it. That'll be funny. And what else are we going to do? A couple days of workshops and channeling, and then possibly, I think, a field trip's in the works too. So get your tickets. We still got, Hi, girl. Oh, okay. Show your goods. Show your goods.
Okay, so this is, hold on, let me close the box so I can show off.
Okay.
Because I worked so hard on designing it.
Aww.
Here's the box.
Look how pretty.
I know. I'm so excited about it.
I'm so proud. I haven't even done any of this except, sign the check. But I'm so proud of this venture you're doing. I mean, I love it. Thank you.
And it comes with the Stardust cup.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. I'm drinking out of one, but it was one of the defect ones that didn't come with the symbol on it. So.
Uh-oh. And you can use those cups for the alien watch parties.
The alien watch party. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then it comes with the choice of 1 to 2 soaps. So this soap was made by Celestial Chaos, right? That was her name?
Right. Yeah. Yes. Razzo Chaos, yes. So we'll get a link.
Yeah, she custom makes soaps, and she made some specifically for Stardust that she donated, and we had some left over, and I'm like, you know what, I'll put these in the boxes, and they smell amazing. And then
they glow.
Then we have these other different types of Stardust soaps that I used a company. I just told them what ingredients I wanted, and then they made it. So, and it's really super soft, like it's so soft. And then I custom made jewelry. It was my first time making jewelry. I made Stardust bracelets. That's what I'm calling them, because they're inspired by Stardust. It was my first time making bracelets. So, hold on.
I want one.
Yeah, so this is the planet charm. And then I added a star to it.
Okay.
And the colors are pretty cool. It's with the clasp. So the sizes, I made them standard size. So they should fit any wrist, really. Even my big ass wrist. So it's a little loose on mine.
Wow, it even fits yours. Wow. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Shut up. Anyway, but I use It's a dark blue sandstone, so there's these little sparkles in it that look like stars. That's why I got them.
Ew.
And then there's
I
purple.
love sparkles. I bet they're stardust.
Yes, they're stardust. And then purple agate, striped agate or something like that, and black onyx. So
beautiful.
Each bracelet looks a little unique because, you know, they're natural beads. They're not going to look identical to each other. And then I made pendulums. I made my own. I worked really hard on them. And these all come in the boxes. And it's a rose quartz pendulum that I infused with Reiki as well. Reiki.
Oh.
Because I'm a Reiki master for people that don't know. And then I added a heart at the end of it.
Cutie!
Because Stardust started because of love. And so I thought it was fitting to add a heart end to it. And then one of the last things that comes with the box is, of course, a shirt. You get a Stardust shirt in your size. I only have limited sizes, though, so if you guys want one in your size, you gotta get them now. So, yeah.
No, there's something else in there.
There is? Oh, right!
Remember you can...
Letters. I forgot about that. I'm going to write personal letters to everybody that buys one, so it's not going to be like, thanks for buying the box, customer, you know? You know, I want it to be personal. Customer. Right. I want it to be personal because it's not like even though it kind of seems like a business, it's not that to me.
It's a family. We're a family.
And I really appreciate people supporting my dream of just, I don't know, making jewelry and shit. So, and then I'm going to have Carrie sign it, and I'll sign it, I guess. And then, so will Sam and Avery, they'll sign it as well. Yeah. And I'm going to trans-channel them and have them do their own signature. So.
We'll all sign them in Vegas, and yes. I'll watch.
Right. So I still, you can pre-order your boxes now, which I've already sold 6, and I only have 20 of them. So you should get your shirts now. I'm going to put up the link. It's going to be on the website, the Stardust Events website. That's where it's going to be, where you can find out how to purchase them. But yeah, it's cool.
Stardust Events? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Because that's the Stardust website. I just put, because that's where we're posting our events at. But also,
okay, but not everybody's in there. You got to put it in both places or somewhere else.
No, the website we have, not the group, Facebook group. We have a website.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's a lot to remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have other business? I just talked about, that, remember what Sam and Avery said Sam said that they're trying to get the crew, trying to find the best personalities to come to the Stardust out here in Texas.
Yes,
so they're coming here too.
I know. In 6 weeks, we're going to be.
I know.
It's pretty awesome. I'm excited.
And I know what I'm going to be for Halloween. I figured it out.
What are you going to be?
A cat fairy.
A cat fairy. Very unique,
Thanks.
It's a cat, but with wings.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
I got my wedding dress in the mail.
I know.
I would take it out, but I had to stuff it back in the bag it came in. It was this vacuum sealed bag, I don't want to take it back out again because I'll be a bitch.
I know. Take it and I'll bring it home with me.
Okay.
Okay, so let's wrap up. We talked about twins. We talked about me being hammered. We talked about our event and all the treasures that you made. I guess we're done.
We are. We're done. I hope somebody learned something. At least one person learned something new or expanded themselves a little bit. And
and the biggest lesson I want everybody to take, and I want you to apply this all across the board, is again to just live and let live. Mm-hmm. You don't have to choose a team.
Right.
You could just, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going on, and I don't need to decide right now. You can have your reality, and you can have your reality. I'm not even choosing one right now.
Yeah.
So, or whatever, whatever you want. So,
yeah.
That's how this, that's how this life's supposed to be. We create our own realities.
Exactly, because life isn't real anyway, so why not just make up your own fucking life in the first place?
Right. So you know what we should go do? We should go invent a carb-free cheeseburger. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go have one right now. Shit. What about you?
I have to join Cheeseburgers Anonymous because, I have fucking issues. I spent $300 on cheeseburgers. And not all at once. It was over a span of a few months, but I need help.
It's ridiculous. You really do need an Ubervention.
I need an Uber Eats intervention.
Intervention. Right. you do.
Lord help me. Give me strength. Okay, I gotta go.
It's Minerva's fault. It's Minerva's fault. She likes to eat. We're blaming it on you, girlfriend. All right. I love you. Thank you for today, because I have this big ass story time that I want to post, but I've been afraid. But I'm not afraid anymore. I got my little validation. Thank you, Volty. You snuck it in there for me. All right. So the story time's coming up before the video. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right, Heather, I'm going to post it right now. So go and like it and give me support, okay?
Okay. I love you.
Okay, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.